Welcome back, everyone, to your favorite JV girls hockey broadcast. We have your hometown Sabers in white heading left to right, taking on the evil Two Rivers Empire. Starting five for the Sabers, we've got Lauren Knutson, Abby Luth, Faith Huberty up top, and Avery Schuler and Chloe Chrisak at the defensive spots. Puck being banged around by the blue line just inside the offensive zone for the Sabres. Huberty with some good pressure. She kicks it around behind the net. She gets tied up a little bit. Couldn't center it. Tried. Luth eventually centered it, but nobody home. Schuler holds it in. Ends up on Knutson's stick. A good forehand shot that got blocked before it got to the goalie. She drops it back to Schuler. Nice stick work there to hit the puck down. Her wrister almost hit a teammate in the head, hit the glass over the goal. Her and Chloe Chrisak able to hold the puck in. Luth drops it back to Chrisak. Her shot got blocked. Now it finds Huberty. She tries to go 5-hole. Shot gets sticked aside, and we are going for a 3-person change in the offensive zone. You don't see that every day. And almost managed to hold the puck in. Got McNee, Anderson, and John Choi on the ice now. Aubrey Smith comes in at defense. John Choi dumped it in. Stick save by the goalie. Can't escape. Jetta Barrett comes off the bench with a head full of steam. McNee puts it on net. Kick save. John Choi follows it up. Nice drag there. Comes to her backhand. Puck is loose. Anderson had a shot at it. Dribbled across the crease, and John Choi buries it. She goes for the jump into the glass celebration and lays herself out. Mom liked that one. So 1 minute and 40 seconds into the first period, and the Sabres are up 1-0. Goal by Kate Johnshoy. That is her 12th. She is now in sole position of second place on the scoring leader chart, goal leader chart, I should say, behind Ella Rampart. Those 5 skaters stay put. Puck kicked around in the neutral zone back to Jetta Barrett. She goes D to Aubrey Smith. Got handcuffed a little bit. Couldn't hold on to it, and Two Rivers manages to get it deep. Good exit there from Barrett to McNee. She goes cross ice to Rampart. Couldn't get the first one, but good hustle to run it down. Put some pressure on forecheck. Almost that cross ice pass almost intercepted by Laurel Hughes. So Laurel Hughes and McNee are joining the JV team for the first time, I think maybe all season for Laurel. First time in a while for McNee. Laurel's number 9. She's on the puck right now. Quick pass to Rampart, got cut out and then iced by Two Rivers. So we'll get another stoppage. 12:25 left in the first. We've got Telejohn, Rampart, Hughes at the forward spots, and Cam Chrisak also making an appearance along with Cam Carlson at the defensive spots. Rampart on the draw, wins it. Heads to Hughes, then back to Chrisak. Her wrist shot goes wide. Hughes puts some pressure on, forces the puck back around the other direction. Chrisak will hold it in. Puck pops out in front of the net there. One of the Two Rivers defenders got a stick on it. Good centering pass from Hughes. Telejohn's shot got stopped, but then Rampart buried the rebound. So 3 minutes into the game, a quick 2-0 lead for your Sabres. Ella Rampart got that goal. I think Telejohn will get the first assist, and Hughes should get the second assist. She had the centering pass. Telejohn had a backhanded effort that didn't get past the pad, and then Rampart buried it. Huberty back on the ice with Esslinger and Tochek. Shakopee bench is very full today, so we'll probably get some interesting line combinations. Good pressure there by Esslinger, but puck ended up in her skates, and she couldn't get a hold of it. Shot in on Vanesti. Gets the start today. She and Zoe Lewis have been alternating recently. Puberty on the draw. She goes with the forehand, wins it towards Schuler onto the bench, off the bench, along with Chloe Krisak. Krisak goes off the boards up to toe check. She tries to go off the boards and out, but gets held in by Two Rivers. They punch it back down behind the net. We'll hold it in, but that backhand ends up right on Krisak's stick. She's going to push it forward down the ice. Toe check giving chase. Loses the race, but forces a turnover. Puck ends up down by the net. Esslinger's going to come out from behind the net with it. She has the puck poked away from her. The exit pass ends up going past everybody all the way down to Vanesti. She plays it wide with the stick. Krisak tries a cross-ice pass that got picked off, but Huberty returns the favor and takes possession of the puck, carries it into the offensive zone. Sabres are switching. Now you've got Barrick, Knutson, and Luth on the ice along with Smith. And now John Choi off the bench. Had a touch-up off sides there for a moment. Smith lost an edge, so Sabres gathering themselves there. That pass doesn't connect. Too far for Luth. Nice turnover by John Choi there. Cut in front of a pass. Got a shot off that went wide. Puck comes around the near side boards. Good pinch by Barrick to hold it in. She's still on the puck. Centering pass goes right through the crease. Nobody there for the Sabres. Smith steps in to hold it in. Two Rivers controlling below the goal line. They go back behind their own net. Coming up the near side boards. Barrick steps up in front and holds it in again. Cross ice pass gets cut out by Smith, and Sabres able to hold it again. Finally it gets out. John Choi in a good spot to corral the pass. She goes up to Knutson, who's going to dump it in deep. We'll get a change for the Sabres. McNee off the bench along with Carlson and Cam Krisak. John Choi steps into a wrister. That one might have gone off the helmet of the goalie. That was a good shot, just deflected wide. John Choi's coming off the ice now, and Rampart's back in. Puck just barely cleared. Krisak's going to go back to collect it. She's going to go cross ice to Carlson. She can't hang on to the puck and poked away by the Two Rivers defender. Now we're trying cross ice from Krisak to McNee. Can't hold it in. Two Rivers has a little bit of a break here. Their forward can't hold on to the puck. She backhands it cross ice. Going to end up all the way on the other side of the faceoff dot. Carlson in a good spot to run it down. She goes hard off the boards up to McNee. Goes off the boards but not out. Dumped back behind the net by Two Rivers. Carlson trying to run that one down, as is Anderson. Anderson eventually gets there after the Two Rivers. They've got a 2-on-1. If her and Izzy hustle, that's a good pass, and McNee shoots it right into the goalie's chest. The rebound was available briefly, but the goalie did a nice job covering. So nice opportunity for those two, but nothing comes from it. And we'll get some new skaters. 8:45 left in the first. Sabres out shooting Two Rivers 9-1, and with the 2-0 lead. Laurel Hughes in the game. Faith Huberty, Mari Telejohn, Chloe Krisak, and Avery Schuler. Faceoff is tied up. It's going to end up back on Krisak's stick. She'll step into, well, I thought she was going to step into a wrister, but nice deke by her. Fooled the announcer. Tried to center it from the underneath the goal line. That one got kicked kind of aside. Backhand trying to get it back to Telejohn. She just barely wins the race to it. Two Rivers defender tried to hand it, glove it down. Didn't go real far. Ended up on Telejohn's stick briefly. A little bit of space on the far side, but quickly shut down by Schuler. Hughes with a good poke to slow up the exit again. And Krisak blocks a centering pass with her shin. So good pressure on the forecheck and in the neutral zone by the Sabres, giving Two Rivers all sorts of trouble. Long cross-ice pass there, gets cut out by Schuler. Hughes has the puck now. She goes around one, shields another off the puck. Gets a shot off, but it got blocked. She's tuckered out. Going to go for a change now. We've got Tochek and John Choi on the ice. Esslinger off the bench as well. Two Rivers defender doing some nice stick handling work there. Zigzags her way through a couple of Sabre skaters, but eventually runs out of steam. Tochek trying to power that one up the boards, but gets cut out. Shot is on net, easily handled by Vanesti. Backhand change of direction from Two Rivers. Good work by Esslinger to cut that pass off. Now she's coming through the neutral zone. She's got some speed, but good back check there by Two Rivers. John Choi was right with her and tried to carry the puck in, but couldn't hold on to it. It gets iced by Two Rivers. So get some new skaters. Luth on the ice with Knutson, Rampart playing center, Jettebarek, and Aubrey Smith at the defensive spots. 6:54 left in the first. Been all Sabers so far. Rampart's on the draw. He's going to go with the backhand. Drops it right to Knutson. She tried a backhand pass for Smith, but it was a little bit behind where Aubrey was expecting it to be, so it didn't connect cleanly. She backhands it back up the boards. Barrick holds that one in with the backhand. Skips over a defender's stick. Smith unable to keep that one in. We've got a touch-up off sides. And Two Rivers uses that to momentarily escape. Nice little poke pass there from Rampart to Luth, but just a little bit too far for Abby to get a hold of it. She gets it back to Rampart, goes off the boards to Knutson. She tries to split some defenders, but gets the puck poked away. And Two Rivers doing a decent job kind of swarming the puck when the Sabers are doing some stick handling work. A lot of open ice now. Knutson skating, Luth trying to get out of the way. She'll get a shot on. It's going 5-hole, but good stick save by the Two Rivers goalie. Rebound ends up back on her stick. She gets another backhand on goal, but another save. Face-off will be on the near side circle offensive zone. Faith Huberty in the game. McNee on her right, Anderson on her left. Cam Krisak and Cam Carlson in the game. Krisak tries to get a shot, goes through one set of legs, but hits the second one. Carlson able to retain the puck. Tries to go up the boards, but the ref is in a bad spot. It hits him right in the skate, and Carlson gets held up. Eventually, puck ends up on a Two Rivers stick. That one goes hard off the boards from Krisak. Anderson picked it up. She goes to McNee. She tried to scoop it with the backhand, but couldn't hold on to it. Two Rivers goes hard off the boards. That one took a high bounce and is going to roll all the way down. No icing there, but Carlson's got a head of steam, but she gets driven off the puck. Bounces back to her stick. She'll backhand it in. McNee's going to give chase. Anderson coming down a little bit late, and there's Huberty. That centering pass is going to get to Huberty. Great opportunity. That shot was just wide. McNee's going to pick up the rebound. She'll backhand it back to Krisak. She gets pressured and loses the puck. Anderson with the back check. Knocks over one of the skaters from Two Rivers, but no penalty there. Regroup for the Sabers. Dangerous change there with the puck in the neutral zone, but they get away with it. Mari Telejohn on the ice along with John Choi. That one kicked off the backboards, bounced right up top dangerously. There's Laurel Hughes onto the ice. She's going to have a 2-on-1 with Telejohn. She fires high and wide, tried to go stick side near post, but missed. Chloe Krisak holds that one in, but her shot hits a skate. Kate John Choi on the puck now. Tried a backhanded pass to Krisak. Didn't get a lot on it, but managed to get back on the puck. Tried a shot while falling. Couldn't get it too far. That's going to be a hand pass from Telejohn to Hughes, and will come out to center ice. Schuler in the game. John Choi will take the face off. Forwards are the same. John Choi wins the draw, goes to Krisak, skates it behind the net. Wheels to her backhand, but gets closed off nicely. Nice pass there by Laurel Hughes to Telejohn. She's got a 2-on-1 with John Choi. Fired the shot. John Choi is trying to get back in the play, but couldn't get there. Krisak steps into one, covered nicely by the goalie. So Two Rivers goalie getting put through the ringer early in the first period, but she's been up to the task for the most part, made some nice saves. Stoppage with 3:33 to play. Esslinger, Toczek, and Rampart onto the ice. Defensive skaters will stay the same for the Sabers. A couple new Two Rivers skaters as well. Far side face-off, circle in the offensive zone. That one tied up by Rampart, pops onto Toczek's stick, backhands it down to the boards behind the net. Rampart on the forecheck holds it in nicely. Shot by Krisak didn't make its way through. She'll get another crack at it now. Dumped it down the boards. Rampart ties up the Two Rivers defender, who manages to fend her off. The exit goes all the way across ice, and Schuler cuts it off. She's going to fire one in from beyond the blue line. Takes a hop, but goes wide. Defensive skaters will go for a change, while the three offensive skaters will forechecking, trying to hold the puck in. That's Aubrey Smith, one of the new defensive skaters. Stepped into the zone. We had a late breaking offsides there. So Smith and Barrick at the defensive spots. Luth, Knutson, and Huberty onto the ice. This aggressive face-off win there by Faith, but puck ended up a little too far for her to handle. Cross ice from Barrick splits the difference between Knutson and Smith, and neither one of them could get there. Now Smith's got a little space. Nice poke check there, cuts her off, but Luth comes in to provide a little support. She shoots one that gets sticked aside. It would have been wide, but Knutson tries to go back up the boards. She's going to get a penalty there. Got tied up and got the stick up a little high. They both might go. Definitely Lauren. Yeah, they're both going to go. So offsetting minors there. Face-off is going to be in the offensive zone, which is news to the Sabers. They're setting up shop in the defensive zone, getting ready for a penalty kill, but they won't have to do that. John Choi, McNee, Anderson, Carlson, and Cam Krisak. John Choi on the draw. Ref in the way. Two Rivers comes out of there with the puck. That centering pass gets cut out by Anderson. Ends up briefly on John Choi's stick, and she fires one there. That saved and kicked to the boards nicely by the Two Rivers goalie. Anderson holds on to the rebound. Now John Choi's got it behind the net. She's trying to center it, gets it to Anderson. Her shot leaks past the glove side of the goalie, but gets deflected wide. Now that shot's going to go far side boards. Anderson runs it down. Stick lift to hold it in. She dumps it behind the net. John Choi battling for it, and she'll win the battle. She goes back, centers it. Anderson had it awkwardly, couldn't get a shot off. She drops it back to Krisak. She's going to drive to her forehand. Nice drag there. Got a shot off, hit a stick. Might have been a defender's, might have been our forwards. Puck comes out to the neutral zone. Carlson wheeling, gets it up to John Choi. Backhanded pass up to Izzy McNee. She's got some space. Wrister gets saved relatively easily by the Two Rivers goalie, but she misses. She thought the puck went out the other side, and McNee just snuck one in on the same post that she was standing next to. So, third goal of the first period, Izzy McNee gets that one. That was the 18th Saber shot of the first period. 2-1 for Two Rivers. That line will get a break. Rampart, Hughes, and Telejohn onto the ice. Face-off won by Two Rivers. They dump it in. There's a minute left in the first period now. Nice stick work by Rampart, and she's got Hughes on the opposite side if she can get a pass to her. She couldn't, though. She was trying to get a backhanded pass in. Eventually drops it down to Krisak, she gets a bouncing shot in that Telejohn redirected, but Two Rivers goalie in good position and manages to stop shot, not give up a rebound. So 41 seconds left. We'll get another face-off. Rampart on the draw. Telejohn back behind her a little bit to her right. Tried to drop it back to her. That shot from Schuler ended up got deflected, and then ended up on Hughes' backhand. She got a shot off, but Two Rivers goalie putting up some impressive stats in the first period. Sabres have scored 3, but she's made some nice saves. It could be a lot worse. That faceoff gets controlled by Two Rivers. We're down to 30 seconds, and they'll dump it down the ice. They're going to wave the icing there. Krisak will go back to retrieve. She goes up to Telejohn, but that pass got cut out by a Two Rivers skater. They couldn't control it and ended up back on Krisak's stick. She did a nice job skating the puck up the ice and then caught an edge and took a digger. I'm sure she'll hear about that one from Dad. Shot towards the end of the period goes wide. So end of the first, 3-0 Shakopee was all Sabres, 21-1 shots on goal. Krisak takes another digger. Skate. Yep. All right, back and ready for the second period. Sabres now headed right to left on your screen. Esslinger, Huberty, and Tocek on the ice along with Smith and Barrick. Puck quickly in on the Two Rivers net and gloved and covered by their goalie. Face off in the offensive zone there. Face off won momentarily by Two Rivers, but good pressure by Huberty forces a turnover. Shot from Barrick got deflected, pops out onto Tocek's stick. She got a shot off that got pad saved by the goalie. Now her and Esslinger battling below the goal line for the puck. Can't prevent the exit. Smith slowed it down enough to prevent anything too dangerous from happening. Barrick loses skate there. Must be bananas on the ice over there. That's the same spot where Chloe fell down a couple times. Smith on the puck now. She's going to carry it in the zone. Cuts to her forehand, gets a shot that's partially deflected and saved. Rebound kicked wide by the goalie. Barrick onto the ice. Stepped in to hold it in. Two Rivers eventually dumps it behind the goal. John Choi now back to get it. She's got Tocek in the middle of the ice. Nice backhand to her. Tocek is going to dump it deep and then go for a change. John Choi is going to provide the pressure. She's going to win the race to that puck. Tries the wraparound. That was like kind of a slow developing wraparound. Nobody got in front of her, and she ended up getting a shot off. Good save by the goalie. Knutson on the ice now along with Luth. Cam Krisak chips it down to John Choi. Tries to stop the bouncing puck but can't hold on to it. Carlson steps up there, and then Knutson cutting hard. She wheels back to her forehand. She's taken on a couple of Two Rivers players there. Manages to drop the puck back to Carlson. Bounces over her stick, but John Choi is there. Dumps it deep. Luth wins the puck, gets it to Knutson. She'll drop it back to Krisak. She steps in, but gets cut off nicely. Good wheel there. Now she's stepping into the middle. She's going to drive the puck. I thought maybe she'd get a shot off in the slot there, but eventually gets shut down. Carlson back on D. Kind of rides the Two Rivers forward into the boards, and Luth manages to clear the puck up to Knutson. She tries a backhanded pass to Luth, but couldn't get it to her, a little too far. Luth tripped up the Two Rivers defender as they were trying to exit, but Shakopee was still in the offensive zone, so we'll get an offsides. McNee, Anderson, Rampart, Schuler, and Chloe Krisak on the ice. Puck ends up on McNee's stick. She goes hard off the boards to get it into the zone, but nobody there for the Sabers. Eventually, the puck is sent back to center. Schuler fires it, I think, into the bench. Refs did not blow the whistle, but McNee with some nice stick work holds it in. She's going to try a centering pass. Goalie scoops it up in the air with her stick. Puck is loose. McNee battling, trying to poke it through, but whistle blows, and looks like the goalie has it covered. 11:55 left in the second. Those skaters will stay for the Sabers. Had a couple changes. Anderson drops it back to Chloe Krisak. She steps into a wrister that goes wide. Schuler gets the rebound. She's halfway down the boards in the offensive zone. She kicks it back to Anderson. Her wrister almost got deflected in by McNee. She then went back behind the net, retrieved her own rebound, and centered it to Rampart, who got the goal. So, nice work by that line. Rampart's 15th of the year. She's a leading goal scorer for the JV squad. And we'll keep those skaters on the ice. 11:37 left in the second. Face-off one goes back to Schuler. A little bit of a miscommunication there. She trades places with Anderson. Now Two Rivers comes out of there with the puck. They get a real shot on goal, but Benesti stops it easily and covers. Now we'll get some fresh skaters. Barrick, Smith, Huberty, Hughes, and Telejohn. Huberty on the draw. Puck ends up back on Hughes' stick. She goes hard off the boards behind the net, out to Telejohn. Telejohn drops it back to Barrick, who goes up to Hughes. She's one-on-one with the Two Rivers defender. She goes to her backhand, tries to get a backhanded shot off. It got partially deflected, went high, and rode the top of the boards around for a little while. Smith stepped in to hold it in, and now her, Telejohn, and Huberty, Huberty were all battling for it. Telejohn got a shot off, ended up wide. Sabres retrieve the rebound and are still pressuring. That cross-ice pass goes right in between Barrick and Hughes and allows Two Rivers to clear the puck. Going to get a offsides there, I believe. Puck got held up right at the blue line. Two Rivers skater couldn't slow her progress. And we'll get some new skaters. Esslinger, Tocek, and John Choi onto the ice. John Choi playing center. Tocek on the right side. Esslinger on the left side. Face-off win back to Smith. She'll go cross ice to Barrick, who goes up to Toczek. She backhands the puck deep on the boards. That one comes out to Esslinger. She'll drop it to Smith. A lot of traffic in front. She shoots one that ends up wide. Sabers doing a really aggressive job corralling the rebounds, controlling them to keep the puck in the offensive zone. That one didn't get through. It hit a skate. Eventually got kicked into the crease and covered by the Two Rivers goalie. 10 minutes left in the second period now. Carlson and Krisak, the Cam duo, in at defense. John Shoy on the draw, loses that one. Two Rivers rings it around the boards behind the net. Centering pass. Nobody home except Cam Krisak, so she's going to chip it into the zone. She gives chase. Esslinger covering for her. Puck gets held up on the boards by John Shoy. Toczek over there along with Esslinger. John Shoy comes out of there with it. Her shot partially deflected. Easy save for the goalie, but Toczek holds on to the puck. Goes off the boards to Krisak. Krisak changes directions. Her shot got deflected by John Shoy. Redirected, I should say. Slowed it down enough that the goalie was able to stop it, but good redirect there. Rebound got kicked around for a little while, but eventually cleared. Right onto Carlson's stick, and she is going to drop a nice little feather pass to John Shoy, who chips it in. John Shoy goes shoulder to shoulder with the Two Rivers skater to tie up the puck. Now Esslinger's got it. She'll drop one to Carlson. She's going to go to Knutson. She gets a shot on net. Took her a minute to corral the puck. I think the shot got partially deflected. Two Rivers able to clear back to Carlson, who brings it right back into the zone. She's pressing hard, trying to center it. She does eventually get it to Knutson. She fires one from just inside the blue line, ends up going over the goal. Now Cam Krisak has one. Nice shot low and to the stick side. Pad save by Two Rivers goalie. The clearance skips over Carlson's stick, and rolling puck ends up deep in the Saber defensive zone. Two Rivers battling, trying to get some possession in the offensive zone, but not having much luck. That shot deflected off a skate, ended up right in front of the net. Carlson tried to clear, and then she got tied up. Now Rampart comes out of there. She's got a little bit of room. She fires it deep, and Luth is going to give chase. She can't get there. The backhanded clear ends up on Chloe Krisak's stick. She tries a one-time shot that takes a hop and covered by the goalie. 7:38 left in the second. Huberty, McNee, and Anderson onto the ice, along with Schuler and Chloe Krisak, who fired that shot. Puck controlled by McNee. Her backhand gets stuffed, but goalie can't hold on to the rebound. Two Rivers eventually clears, but the pass a little too hot to handle, and Chloe steps into the zone. Rebound, goalie tried to glove it, couldn't hold on to it. Rebound ended up just on that same side of the net. Krisak stepped in, tried to get the rebound, but a little too much traffic there. So Two Rivers finally breaks it out, able to get it into the zone. Shot goes wide. Schuler up to Anderson. Hit her skate. She tried to center it for McNee. Got cut out. Now Krisak able to skate it into the zone. She's going to have a nice shot there and buries it. That's a fantastic shot by Chloe Krisak. Nobody stepped in front of her. She was carrying the puck through the neutral zone, and Two Rivers just was kind of giving her some space, so she gladly took it, stepped into a wrist shot, and put that one high over the stick side shoulder of the goalie. Goal number 5 for the Shakopee Sabres. Shots now 35-2. 35 is the number of your goal scorer, Chloe Krisak. That's her 4th of the year to go along with 6 assists. Telejohn right back into the zone. She fires one. Goalie gets a glove on it but can't hold on to it. Hughes tries a backhanded pass to Smith. That's too hot to handle, but Sabers immediately back into the zone, and they're going to be offsides there. So there was a cross-ice pass there that was a little bit past the stick of, I think, John Choi, and a couple of the Shakopee skaters stepped into the zone before the puck made its way in there. Face-off controlled, back to Barrick. She'll go to cross-ice to Hughes. She battles for the puck. She fires one. Goalie able to cover that one. She was trying to sneak it under the glove side arm, but goalie in good position managed to prevent the goal and did not give up a rebound. John Choi, Hughes to her left, Telejohn to her right, Smith back left, Barrick back right. She wheels, kicks it back to Smith, who goes D to D to Barrick. She gets cut off, so she fires it back behind the net. And we are going to get a high sticking call. Laurel Hughes going to end up in the box. Apparently the refs this week got a memo about calling high sticking because that has carried over from the previous game. So, Two Rivers power play with 6:06 left in the second period. They're in a 5-goal hole, so would probably provide a pick-me-up for them if they could get one in here. We've got Esslinger, Cam Krisak, Tocek, and Carlson on the kill. Sabers able to clear that one very rapidly. That puck comes out. Esslinger had the opportunity to sneak one in, potentially. Goalie was playing the puck with her stick in the corner, and the clearance from the defender ended up right on Esslinger's stick. The goalie, I don't think, realized the urgency of getting back into the net, but she made it in time. Good pressure on the penalty kill by the Sabres, though. Esslinger takes the draw. Two Rivers able to control eventually. I'll dump it in far side. Cam Krisak goes back to retrieve that. She splits a couple of Two Rivers skaters, and she's got all kinds of ice in front of her. Two defenders back, so she eventually gets a wrister off. It gets sticked aside. She goes back and collects her own rebound. And she's holding on to the puck, battling a couple of Two Rivers skaters. Her pass to Esslinger, a little bit too hot to handle, but Carlson stepped in to hold the puck in. So Carlson with the puck now. She's going to play it up the near side boards to Tocek. Lena Tocek drive into the middle of the ice. Gets a wrist shot off the edge of the glove and hit the post. I'm sure you could hear that through the broadcast. That was a great shorthanded opportunity. This group has done a really good job on the kill. You wouldn't know that it was the Two Rivers power play unless I told you. That clearance doesn't get all the way through, but Carlson blocks the shot. She's got 1-on-2. Tries to deke around the defender, but puck hits a skate, doesn't get quite through. Krisak fires a pass, hits Anderson in the skate, and Two Rivers dumps it in. We're down to 17 seconds left on the penalty. Carlson gets it out to McNee. She's going through the center of the ice, gets it to Anderson, who gets it back to McNee. She drags it to her backhand, is driving the net now. Tries to get a shot off, got partially deflected, and Shakopee has killed the penalty and now has too many skaters on the ice. Rampart and Hughes both on the ice. Hughes came out of the box and Rampart came off the bench, but puck back in the offensive zone. Rampart and Anderson chasing. Two Rivers almost gets out of there, and they finally do. Anderson picks it up just beyond the blue line. She's got all sorts of traffic in the middle of the ice. Eventually runs out of room there. Backhanded shot got deflected, but not cleared. McNee chips it up to Rampart. She got a shot. That one fired, hits the defender. Oh, deflection went off a stick and up, hit the goalie in the head. Rebound went just wide, gets iced eventually. So good opportunity there by the Sabres, but they can't put one in the net. Knutson, Luth, and Huberty onto the ice. Krisak and Schuler will stay. Offensive zone faceoff with 3:11 left in the second. Faceoff controlled, comes back to Knutson. She fires a nice wrist shot. Luth got a redirect on it, but puck went wide. Krisak steps into one. That hits Abby Luth and gets kind of caught in her breezers for a minute. Puck ends up on a Two Rivers stick, and they're going to try to skate it out. Knutson puts some pressure on to prevent that from happening, and puck kicked around right by the blue line. Knutson eventually fires one in. That goes wide. Cross-ice pass partially deflected by Luth, and then Barrett gets a shot off. That goes wide. Knutson's going to run down that rebound. Defenders were changing, so she didn't have anyone to drop the puck to, which is not a problem because she just skates it all the way in and scores. So Knutson picked up the puck off the rebound near side by the faceoff circle on the boards, and she carried it back to the blue line all the way across to the other side of the ice and then down to the goal line and stepped into a backhand shot, went low and stick side and managed to sneak it past the goalie for goal number 6. That is her 12th of the season, assuming that's her first of the game today, which I think it is. John Choi, Hughes, and Telejohn onto the ice. And John Choi immediately back into the offensive zone with the puck, so Sabres pouring it on. Puck is stuck there. It was a late whistle. Goalie had the puck in her pads. It must not have been covered, but Telejohn and Hughes were both poking around at it in there. Mari got dumped right after the whistle. The Sabre varsity players did not like that one bit, but Telejohn didn't seem to mind it. She had a smile on her face there. Two Rivers eventually up and out. That puck is going to get sticked aside by Vanesti. Exit pass up to Hughes. She'll chip it past the defender. She's going to give chase. She's not going to win the race, but her and Telejohn both there for the forecheck. Puck is forced up the near side boards right into Smith's stick. Deflects in front, ends up on Laurel Hughes' stick, and she cuts to her forehand. Goalie was sliding, assuming it was a backhanded shot, and that's an easy goal for Laurel. So up to number 7 for the Sabres. All right, we've got Esslinger, Rampart, Tochek, Cam Krisak, and Cam Carlson on the ice. Face-off controlled by Two Rivers. Rampart intercepts the Telejohn and Aubrey Smith get the assists on that last goal. Carlson up the near side boards, controls. She tries a centering pass. It hits his skate. Two Rivers exit pass is going to get cut off by Rampart. She's stick handles through a little bit of traffic and then drops it back to Krisak, finds some space. Krisak up to Rampart. She tries a backhanded centering pass that didn't make it home. Now she drops it back to Krisak again. She's got a nose for the goal right now. She's stepping into one. That was a great pass. Went far side to Esslinger. Just unable to get it snuck in. Rampart wisely waits for the Sabres to exit the zone before she enters, but poke checked away and back into the defensive zone. Sabres try skating with 4 just for fun for a couple seconds there, but McNee eventually makes it onto the ice. Carlson coming out near side. She splits a couple defenders, and now Esslinger, Rampart, and McNee, all three up. McNee with a hard wrist shot. Glove save, but goalie can't hold on to it. Clearance goes off the glass, bounces over Carlson's stick, and that is the end of the second period. So Sabres have a one touchdown lead after two. We're going to get a resurfacing, so we'll take a 10-minute break and see you back here for the third. Welcome back to Shakopee Ice Arena for the third and final period. Penultimate game of the year for the JV girls. They'll play tomorrow against the winner of the earlier game, which was not Lakeville. Rampart, Esslinger, Tocek, Schuler, and Krisak on the ice. Puck quickly into the offensive zone. We will see at the first stoppage. I'm suspecting we will have a runtime period, so it might go kind of quick. Two Rivers able to clear back to center. Schuler goes off the boards. Deep behind the goal. Kicks out. Clearance up the boards. Makes its way out to forward, who's one-on-one with Krisak. Nice back check by Rampart, prevents the shot, but Two Rivers forward centers it nicely. Stuck with it there. No harm, no foul. That one, shot got all the way through. So that Rampart with the block. Oh, wobbly bouncing puck. Tocek couldn't hold on to it. The Sabers might have had a chance for an odd man rush there. Odd girl rush there. Puck cleared back to center ice. Not far enough to change, except Elena's going to go for it. Back into the defensive zone. Schuler rides the Two Rivers forward off the puck. She's going to skate it up. Tries to pass up to McNee, but doesn't get through. Puck is back into the Saber zone. Anderson cuts it out. Krisak goes off the boards to John Choi. She gets tripped. I don't think they're going to call that, with the score being what it is. Anderson and McNee on the forecheck. Anderson to John Choi. Nice backhanded shot. Got deflected just wide. John Choi now tries to stuff in a rebound. Puck is just sitting on the edge of the crease there. A couple saves by the Two Rivers goalie. Sabres can't punch it through. Puck eventually cleared to center ice. Barrick right back in. No ice there, so McNee's going to give chase. She wins the race to it. Tries a centering pass to Anderson off the net. She finds herself some space, drops it back to Smith. Steps into a wrist shot that's gloved. First whistle of the period, and we do indeed have runtime. Mike, who's doing the clock and the camera duty, is relieved by that because now he only has one thing to worry about. Huberty, Telejohn, Hughes, Barrick, and Smith. Puck goes one by the Sabres to Hughes. Tried to get a shot off, but got blocked. Barrick holds it into the zone. Exit pass from Two Rivers ends up right on Huberty's stick. Low shot, pad save. Hughes went for the rebound, but couldn't square it up on her stick. And Barrick intercepts the Two Rivers skater near center ice. Her wrist shot hits a defender's stick. Forces her to drop the stick, but the shot doesn't get through. Now Hughes battling on the boards against the Two Rivers defender. Loses the battle, eventually comes out towards Smith. She tries to step in to hold it in the zone and can't quite get it done. It's good stick-to-itiveness by the Two Rivers forward there to get the puck dumped deep. Barrick goes for Telejohn right between her legs and out. Now the Two Rivers defender one-on-one. Barrick pokes the puck wide, but Two Rivers skater able to hold on to it. Tried the wraparound, but ran into some Sabre defenders, and now the puck is loose into the neutral zone. Knutson was trying to pass it to herself around the Two Rivers skater, but couldn't weave the puck through there. So a little bit of a sloppy third period to start. Can't say that terribly surprised by that. Krisak tries to split. Can't get it done. Now Luth trying to get to the puck. Gets ridden off. Puck back to Krisak. Got it stuck in her skates and fired it into the zone. Easily retrieved by Two Rivers, but forecheck effort by Rampart and Knutson forces a turnover there. That shot goes wide. Luth tries to sneak a rebound shot in from no angle, but that one got blocked. Didn't make it to the net. Puck gets chipped out. Carlson collects it. Changes direction, but nice poke check there by Two Rivers. Depossesses her of the puck. Can't get a shot off, though. Rampart back nicely. That one makes it almost all the way through. Clearance from Krisak hit Luth. And a little bit of miscommunication there. Rampart eventually fires it out. Bounces off Knutsen's skate and then off a Two Rivers skate near center. So Knutsen battles for it. Ends up on a Carlson's stick. She wheels to her forehand, and that's stick save. Esslinger's going to run the rebound down. She'll drop it back to Chloe Krisak. She steps into a wrist shot, pad save. Schuler giving chase for that one. Can't quite make it, and that puck is going to be iced by Two Rivers. So we're down to 9:30 left in the third with the runtime. Faceoff will come back into the offensive zone. John Choi, Tocek, Esslinger with Krisak and Schuler. John Choi wins the draw back to Esslinger. She steps into a shot that gets gloved by the Two Rivers goalie. She's up to 47 saves on 54 shots. Definitely has her work cut out for her today, but it's been a good showing. So face-off won by the Sabers, controlled by Tocek. She gets her space closed down, but backhands it up the boards to John Choi. Little give and go by those folks. She eventually gets it back to Esslinger. She's going to drop one to Schuler, who steps into one. Puck got all the way through. There was a lot of screening out in front, but nobody redirected it. Goalie must have had eyes on it and made the save. Two Rivers changing their skaters. Sabres will leave theirs alone. We're down to 8-13 and counting. Two Rivers wins the draw, and they are able to exit. And if they hustle, they've got a 3-on-2 here. Chloe Krisak in great position, does a nice job of putting a stop to that counterattack. And now she's got the puck on her stick, skates it out nicely, goes off the boards around the Two Rivers skater. Now John Choi will dump it into the corner. Esslinger's going to give chase. Loses the race, but deflects the exit pass. Slows it up enough that John Choi comes into the action. That shot from Smith gets pad saved. John Choi controlling the puck. That one goes out to Smith. Bouncing puck just rolls over her stick, so the Sabres will regroup at center ice, and Barrick will push it deep. She wins the race to her own pass, changes direction back behind the net. Nobody else there for the Sabres. That one kicked off somebody's skate, went right between McNee's legs. Two Rivers able to clear it back to the boards behind the Sabre net. That clearance goes past Anderson's stick and onto a Two Rivers stick, but they hadn't cleared the zone yet, so that'll be offsides on Two Rivers. Face-off controlled by the Sabres. Anderson comes near side on her backhand. She gets ridden off, but kicks the puck to herself, steps into the middle, gets a wrister off that goes wide. Her and Huberty trying to corral the rebound. Can't quite get it done, but they do manage to hold the puck in the zone. Gets fired back behind the net. Anderson will be the first on the forecheck there. The puck goes off the boards and past Barrick. Nice little poke pass there, and Two Rivers finally get with a really good scoring opportunity, a couple of them, and they finally get a goal. So the exit from their own defensive zone, Sabres were a little sloppy there, ended up giving up a 3-on-1. Nice little pass from one of the Two Rivers forwards to create the opportunity. Vanesti made a couple of saves, but Sabres couldn't clear the rebound. That was the fifth shot of the game for Two Rivers. It's always tough for the goalies when they're sitting there not getting any action, and then they get an odd man rush like that. So I'm sure Quinn will not be thrilled with that, but Have to power through. Back on the live action, and puck heads from Carlson up to Hughes, but she can't control it. And Telejohn eventually corrals it, tries to split defenders, but can't get it done. Maybe a little bit too much stick handling for the Sabers. Make the easy play, makes the game a little bit easier. Hughes into the zone, shields the puck nicely. She drops it back to Cam Krisak. She shoots far side. I think it was either Hughes or Rampart trying to get a redirect on that one. One of them might have got one, but puck went wide anyway. Telejohn chips one in that is easily gloved, and we are down to 4 minutes and 30 seconds left. We'll get some new skaters, probably be about 4:10 by the time the puck is dropped. John Shoy, Luth, and Knutson, along with Krisak and Schuler. Puck drops at 4:11. Controlled by Two Rivers, but nicely shut down by Luth. Chloe Krisak steps into one. Her wrist shot got stopped by John Shoy. She was trying to redirect, but got a little too much blade on it. Puck into the corner now. Luth gets tripped up. They are actually going to call that. Centering pass gets sticked aside, so the Sabres will go on the power play for what I assume will be the majority of the last 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Tripping the call there. We've got John Shoy, Anderson, Telejohn, Krisak, and Schuler on the power play unit. Puck controlled by Anderson. She steps into the middle of the ice. Her shot is gloved and held onto by the goalie. Looks like it got stuck in her pads. Puck controlled again by the Sabres. It goes back to Krisak. She tries to power it into the middle of the ice. One of the penalty kill skaters was way out, blocking Schuler. Anderson almost turns the puck over. Now Schuler's got it. She's got some speed, and she's going to skate it in. She scores! Nicely done by Schuler. The power play goal, number 8. She found a little space on the near side, stepped into a wrist shot, went over the shoulder on the stick side, and very nice shot. Goalie didn't have much of a chance. That was the 8th goal on shot number 60 for the Sabres. So 8-1 lead, down to 2 minutes and 16 seconds left. Puck controlled by Esslinger off the faceoff. She gets held up, ridden off the puck. Getting a little physical down there now. Puck comes off out of the corner to toe check. She can't get a shot off, but Esslinger manages to hold on to the puck. She is wheeling, gets shouldered down. Sabre Faithful didn't like that one bit, but refs didn't think there was anything there. Puck's still behind the net. Now the Sabres look a little bit more like they did the first 2 periods, causing Two Rivers all kinds of problems on the exit. That one, nice change of direction and backhanded pass there. Eventually they get out of there. Good recovery by the Sabres, and now Tochek's back on the puck and carries it into the zone. She'll wrist one wide behind the net, just trying to get the puck deep, and Huberty and Esslinger prevent the zone exit. Esslinger steps into one, and she scores. She scored on that exact sequence of events probably 3 or 4 times in the last 4 games. She's pretty comfortable burying that shot, so she's got good pace on that one. Got it up and over the goalie. Goal number 9. We are under a minute now. 9-1 Sabre lead, so should probably be most of the end of the action. Pretty complete effort by the Sabres. Just one little lapse that allowed a goal, and now Rampart walks in on the goalie, got tripped pretty blatantly, but 20 seconds left. They're not going to call that. Now Luth got knocked down in front of the goalie. Moms are losing their minds, but I think that is going to be all she wrote. Carlson back to retrieve that. Off the boards, up to neutral ice. Corralled momentarily by Two Rivers. Back in the zone, there's another miscommunication by the Sabers, and Vanesti with the stick save and kicks it into the corner. So nice win by the Sabers, 9-1. Pretty dominant fashion, and they will have a much tougher game tomorrow. I think the score to the earlier game was 2-1. So we've played Lakeville North before, and they were the losing team. So I can't remember who was the other team that played earlier. West Tonka. Yeah, so I think we played them earlier this year, so it should be a good game. I think same time tomorrow, 5:15, and we will see you then.